On the shark bite, which numbers do you want to see? Do you go over, have questions about? One. Four. Only 4. You didn't say 1. I misheard you. Just double check. Alright, for number 4. I'm going to do this.
Sure.
It's asking, is this a function? So you can use the vertical line test. Draw in lines, vertical lines. If any of these vertical lines touch your function at more than one place, it's not a function, but that's not the case here. It is a function because that doesn't happen. For number 5, if I plot these 2 points, 3, 2, and 2, 0, and I have to find the equation of this, I could count the slope. So I'm going up 2 to the right 1, and use that to go backwards to find my y-intercept. Go down to left 1 until I hit the y-axis. So my equation would be y equals 2x minus 4. Questions on either of those? If not, you should have your intercept notes in front of you.
Jeez, Miss Hope, for these like next 9 weeks, are we just doing like review technically?
Not 9 weeks, 30, whatever that says days.
32 days.
But that, yes and no until we do the unit 10, which is 2 days of lessons, and then final exam review.
Whoa.
So we're
That's too fast. Too fast.
So that, as a reminder, if you weren't here last class, that we are reviewing different objectives from the year. Those grades will go back and replace said grades in whatever marking period for quizzes and tests, as well as the grades in this marking period. So even if you got hundreds, you should still be paying attention because there's still grades in this marking period. So last class was review on solving multi-step equation. Today is intercepts. Anyone remember what definition of an intercept, x or y?
Well, no, that's just rewording it. They intercept at different points.
Okay.
That's just rewording it, but
More specifically, what makes it an intercept? What does it intersect?
another line.
Closer.
A point. No?
Yes, no. What do intercepts intersect? Line. What line?
Straight lines? I don't know.
Straight lines on the graph, two specific ones that every graph has.
The x and y.
There we go.
Oh.
So graphically, I'll say this and then write it. It's where it crosses or touches or intersects the x-axis or the y-axis. So where they cross, touch, or intersect the x or y axis. Algebraically is where, if I'm looking for the y-intercept, the x value is 0, and vice versa. X-intercepts have different names. We've talked about them before. Anyone remember those different names?
I don't. Anyone?
X-intercepts have different names. 3 other names. Anyone remember what they're called?
No, I don't remember.
Solutions.
Oh, is it? It's zeros. Solutions, and then that's the third one. I can't remember. Is it roots?
It is roots.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Solutions, zeros, and roots are all interchangeable for x-intercepts. Y-intercepts are just y-intercepts. So once you are done writing, look at numbers 1 through 6. Find any you want to see, do, go over, review. Pastor? You still there? Okay. Let me know when you're finished. 6. Okay, so for 3, it does not matter if we do x or y first. Where does it cross? Where does this function cross the x-axis?
That's
5 and negative 5.
dang.
So then we would write them as order pairs. How would we write those order pairs?
Negative 5, 0.
And
5, 5, 0, 5, wait. 5, 0.
5, 0.
Yeah.
Okay. Then for your y-intercepts, what are those points? Where does it cross the y-axis?
Oh my god, dude.
They are the same. It is a perfect circle. Usually circles are the same. How would we write those intercepts? Just like that. Questions on that? For 6, it has multiple x-intercepts. What are they? Or where are they?
Negative
5 or even, and then 3.
So then how would we write those 3?
Negative 5, 0, 0, 0, and then 3.
Where/what is our y-intercept?
-2.
So this one is same place. They fall on the same point. Any other questions on this page? If not, move on to the next. Look at just the first 6. What questions from that section do you want to see? Do you go over review 1? Okay. Did you still want to do 1? 4. I can't do it. I don't know. I just want 1 so bad. Sure. Okay. So then if we're doing this algebraically, I'm going to show you how to do it algebraically for the y-intercept and then show you how to not do it algebraically. How to find it in the equation. So algebraically for your y-intercept, your x value has to be 0. So you can change this to y equals, because it's the same thing, f of x, y equals. And then if your x value has to be 0, where x is, put 0 in, and solve. So now you're good. How would we write that as an ordered pair? 0, -8. So you could have just looked at this number by itself. Anytime it's in this format, you have a number by itself, that's your y-intercept. X-intercept, we have to do a little bit more work. We do have our equation y equals. If we're looking for our x-intercept, our y value has to be 0. So we're going to replace that y with 0 and solve for x. Probably solve for x.
2.
Add 8. And divide both sides by 4. So 2 was right.
So it'll be 2 -8, right?
It would be 2, 0. We don't put those together, they're 2 separate things.
Yeah.
Questions on that? And then number 4. What is your y-intercept? -6. How would I write that as an ordered pair? Then for your x-intercept, you can either replace the f of x as y and then replace it as 0, or just write 0 equals and solve for x. How would you do that?
+6 on both sides, and then multiply by reciprocal. It's 9.
Take it, flip it, multiply that on both sides, and x is 9. So how would we write that?
So it would be 9, yeah, 9, 0.
Any others in that section? The next section is strictly finding x and y intercepts on the calculator. Are there any of those we want to see you go over and review?
Use the table on that, right?
Mm-hmm. If not, go on to the next page. One through 10 are more algebraic ways to find your x and y intercept. The format is just different. Which of those do we want to see, do, go over, review, have questions about? 6. just 5 and 6? 1. Eight. Okay. So starting with number 1. Again, does not matter whether you find x or y first. Let's say I'm finding my y-intercept first, just because. If I'm finding my y-intercept, my x value has to be 0. So that rule is still the same. You can put 0 in for x.
Wait, what? Oh. Never mind.
And then you're going to solve for y. So this becomes 0. We don't need the 0, so I'm going to drop it. And solve for y, which is 8. How would we write that order pair? 0, 8. And then do the same thing for your x-intercept, but reverse. Now we're going to put 0 in for y. And solve. So the middle term becomes 0. We can drop that. And solve for x, which is
0. Wait, yeah. I did that. Oh, yeah, I did something wrong. What?
3. It should be 3, 0. It should be 3. The 0 you put in should have been in
No,
for
oh.
y.
I put in 8 for
Yes,
y.
that would do that.
No, there's one over there.
It's okay. Questions on that? Can you hit new session, Andrew? Yeah. Wasn't sure if that was gonna work. Right, we'll do 5 in 1 second. Thank you. Okay, for 5, it tells you what your x-intercept is. It's at -1, so that would be the point -1, 0. You do have to know that because this is a vertical line, so x equals, so it has to be a vertical line at -1. That vertical line will never cross the y-axis. So there is not a y-intercept. You put none. NA doesn't exist. You can't put 0 though, because that would mean there's a y-intercept at 0. So then, what do we think happens with 6?
Oh, no x-intercept.
Right. You have a y-intercept at 0, 5, but no x-intercept. With 8, same process as 1, but we're going to skip some of the steps. So I'm going to find the x-intercept first. So the y value has to be 0. So I would still put 0 in, but because I know that's going to be 0, I don't need to put that. I'm just going to skip to the 7x equals -21 and solve. What would our x value be?
-3, 0.
And then same thing with our y-intercept. Put 0 in for x. This would give us 0, so we don't need to put it. I can just skip to the negative 3y equals negative 21 and solve for y. Which is what?
7.
Positive.
Yeah, positive.
And our intercept would be?
0.
7.
Yeah, 0 and 7.
Any others on this page that we want to see, do go over, have questions about? If not, go on to the next one. What questions do we have on this page? We want to see, do go over, review.
Wait, are 11, 12, 13, 14 different? They're separated.
They're all right. Nope. Those are all whatever this direction says. So identify using order pairs.
And I guess number 15. I guess just for me.
15 combines a few things. You're given your x and y intercepts. You need to write the equation, so you need to know your slope. You're given your y-intercept, but you need to know that they go together. So you can do this one of two ways, using the graph or algebraically. So we can plot the points, 3, 0, 0, 2. You can count your slope, down to the right 3 or up to the left 3. Either way, your slope will be negative 2/3.
Wait, so do we write it though? It's like y equals negative 2/3 plus 2?
X plus 2. But yes. So that would be your equation.
Oh, that's it?
Mm-hmm. If you wanted to do it algebraically, which you probably won't choose as often, but just in case, to find your slope, you could use your slope formula. y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Label your points if you need to. x1, y1, x2, y2. And then put all the numbers in your slope formula. 2 minus 0 over 0 minus 3. Even though the negative is in the denominator, when you go to write it, it's going to be in the numerator or out front. And then you're given your y-intercept. And you can use that in your equation. Other questions on this page? If not, for the remainder of class, you're going to be working on the following. You can go back and practice problems that we didn't go over so that you're good with intercepts. You can go back and do Khan Academy from Unit 8 if you've not done those. Email me when you have so I can update your grade. If you want to go back and do the Khan Academy from this objective or the last one, those names and dates are on the board so you can go back and find those. Email me with those names and scores so I can, or just the names so I can go back and update those grades. If you said you wanted to retake, now would be a great time to get the retake work done so you're not waiting until June to update your grade on things you don't remember.
When's the end of this? Where are we in third or fourth one? Fourth. Mark T. Fourth. Already? Oh. Okay.
So you could be working on that. Khan Academy does math test corrections. You can come see me to get those. If you need to finish or start your tests, you could be working on that. So you have plenty of things you could be working on. Use this time wisely. Does anyone have any questions on what we're doing for the rest of the class? Let me know if you need my help or have questions.
I'm gonna advertise something real quick. Could you come to a concert on Friday?
This Friday, it depends on when.
7 p.m.
My tickets are 6:30, or I would.